Hey guys, it's Niall and Thomas, and welcome back to niallpointspod. And finally, national final season is underway. We now have 60. Oh, round of applause.
It's an important day.
It's a very important day. Today marks the songs for Montesong 2024 being released. Montenegro are back and they're giving us a brand new national final. I'm really, really excited to get started. So what we're going to do is, they've only released the songs today at the time of recording. We're going to look at the ones that are the most viewed. Before we get into that, do remember you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram. We're also now on Blue Sky. We're trying to figure out how that works, but I am.
I don't even know what that is.
It's like a Twitter alternative with less horrible people on it. So we're trying that out. So you can always follow us there. All the links you need, just go to niallpoint.com. There you will also find the links to follow me at niallpoint on Blue Sky, Twitter and Instagram.
Ooh, you've actually made an account for yourself as well. I'm going to have to do that then. And you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram for now at Paidatom
And we'll make sure he gets his the same at on.
Yeah, maybe by the time this video is released, who knows?
It might take you that long just to figure it out, knowing you.
I haven't even got threads, whatever that. Oh, I did make one and I deleted it, I think.
To be fair, Threads was the worst. We're not on Threads. If you see anyone on Threads, it's not us.
No. Also, as if anyone's going to fake an account for us. That's not going to happen. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe this YouTube video. It really helps us to spread our content. So please do it.
Yeah, and thank you already to all the people who have watched the Junior Eurovision. We only put up the last 2 episodes within the last 24 hours, and they're already over 100 views each. So that is warming my heart a little bit. And we all know it's quite cold in there. So shut up. That was stupid. Right. Will we get started?
Yes.
Okay, so the most most viewed song currently, this was only released 7 hours ago and it's already got 30,000 views almost, compared to all the other acts being around 4,000 or 5,000. So I guess we need to take a look at this one because it seems to be pretty popular already. So please do remember that we are always trying our best when it comes to pronunciation. But this is Milena Vucic, and the song is Skopje. So let's take a little listen and see what we think. I think that's worthy of a whoop from you, Thomas.
Whoop!
There we go. That was Milena Vucic. Just looking up a little bit of information about her. In Eurosong 2004, she got 46 points. Her solo career began in 2006. Actually, her birthday is tomorrow. So happy birthday to Milena. Right, straight out of the gate, just from opening that up, Thomas almost spilled his coffee because it went up so loud. It took him by surprise. But the whole thing sort of took me by surprise a little bit. There was this energy that I wasn't expecting, and it really went hard at the start. And I was like, oh, this is going to be quite modern-y rock. But then it sort of went into a sort of 80s rock style as well. And I was just kind of living for it. I could see where this has a lot of views already.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really feeling it, to be honest.
Why? What's missing for you?
I don't know. It just feels a little... I want to say it feels a little dated. It doesn't excite me. Like it's loud, if anything. I don't know how to explain it. I'm just not really vibing with it. This is only the first listen though. But as it was playing, I was like, oh, this is the one that gets the most views. So it's not really exciting me for the rest of it, to be honest with you. Oh, this is really rude of me, but I'm not really vibing with it. I don't know why. It's not really what I had expected it.
But I definitely liked it, so I will keep talking about it. I think this is a really strong. I can understand why you would think it'd be a little dated. As I said, it did have a lot of 80s feel, but I didn't feel like it was like for me personally, I didn't think it was in a way that sort of made it seem like it was old-fashioned or not modern. It still felt like something I could listen to now. Like, yeah, I really like this. She's given a little bit of I'm just looking at a photo of her. She's given a little bit of Sarah Harding vibes in the way she looks as well. I like her style. But I guess we'll see on the 27th of November, I think we said, how that goes for Melina.
It doesn't always bode well being the fan favorite, though, does it? Like, we've seen many national finals where fan favorite doesn't win, or even comes last in some cases. So it's I don't.
Yeah.
I'm just not sure about it. Maybe it needs a few more listens. Maybe also the live version is going to change that, because I do feel like with these kind of songs where there's a lot of strong vocals, because it is a really strong vocal, sometimes they convince me with a live performance. So let's just wait for the national final. But studio cut, it's not bad, but it doesn't really excite me that much.
So just a quick one. So it's a 50% jury, 50% public vote. Do you feel like a jury would maybe be a little bit more against this sort of thing, or do you think? I mean, it's quite different from what Montenegro sent the last time they competed, which was obviously "Breathe" by Vladana. I loved that song, and we all know how I feel about ballads. I love that song. I would like to maybe see something like this from them and see how they would do with that.
Like this one, the one that we just listened to, you mean? Yeah. I don't know if the juries would go for it, but again, it's just the first song, so they're gonna have to go for something, depending on what the other songs are like. If they're better, then they might not. If they're worse than this, then they might go for it. I do think like juries tend to go for a good vocal, so she has that going for her, I suppose. So who knows?
Yeah, I'm gonna give that 4 out of 5. Personally.
Oh, are we doing scores?
I've decided I'm doing a score. There we go. That's my score. You don't need to, but you can.
I mean, I'm gonna give it like a 2.5.
Okay. Let's move on. We have a previous Eurovision contestant. Is Nina Zizik. She, of course, joined 2C in Granca in 2013, which me and Thomas were just talking about. We loved that song. So this has 9,000 views, but I am intrigued to see how it compares. So let's take a look.
Kako si ti, da li si dobro, gdje su sad svi, čisti pred Bogom, ko da su nijemi, stoje bez riječi, oni što tu su, ozluji u sreći, lica su im crvena, tugom krpljena, ako mi je kriv.
Okay, so that was Dobrodosli by Nina Zizik. What did you think, Thomas? Let's start with you.
I much prefer this one, to be honest with you. I don't know why. It's a ballad. I don't really do well with ballads usually, but you don't. But I much prefer this. It's a lot more dramatic, this one.
I thought it sounded a bit like a James Bond song.
Yeah, like a Montenegrin version of a James Bond song. I can see that. It's very dramatic. It's a bit theatrical. It's got that typical Balkan vibe for me as well, like Balkan ballad. I like the strings towards the end. I like her sort of like a bit of a raspy vocal that she has. This just feels like it would make much more of an impact, especially visually. And to go back to juries, if we're talking about what our juries could go for, I think that they would go for this instead of the other one. In my opinion, that's yeah.
Yeah, so I agree. Her vocal's lovely, and I do like that raspy voice. I really do like the cinematic sort of vibe it gives, but it does just feel a little bit like I've heard it before. If that makes any sort of sense. Like it doesn't feel like it brings anything new to the contest, and I do feel, again, this is a comparison with previous entries, but Montenegro sent something a little bit slow, a little bit cinematic before, and did not do well in the semi-final, of course. And I don't know. I do think that there is maybe something a little bit different needed to sort of give that big vibe. Obviously, Granca was quite different, and they did fairly okay with that. Yeah, I don't really know how I feel. I think this is maybe one that needs a few more listens for me, as opposed to Melina, where I was like, oh, this is a little bit for me.
Yeah. You know what? It's funny that you said Granca did fairly well, but they didn't qualify with that one.
They didn't qualify?
No, they've only qualified twice since they started competing in 2007. And it was 2014 with Sergej Chetkovic, Moj Svijet. I remember that one. And then with Knez and the song Adio, which had like that sort of like traditional dancey vibe. That was actually their best placement. They came 13th with that one. It was in 2015.
Granca didn't qualify?
It did not. It came 12th in the semifinal. So they were pretty close with 41 points.
Europe, are you on crack?
Yeah. You see, I kind of forgot about that until, like, for those of you who don't know, I've started a sort of like Eurovision re-ranking game on Twitter, and we did 2013 the other day, and I was shocked when I was looking at there we go again. I was shocked looking at the results, seeing that, oh, that didn't qualify, because it did rather well in our poll, or in our re-ranking. I think it nearly came top 10 or something. But yeah, no, it didn't actually qualify.
That has shocked me to my core.
Yeah.
It's wild. You sort of just put this alternative reality in your head based on what you remember the most and what you listen to and stuff like that. Oh, I thought that was okay.
Yeah, well, it is arguably their best entry, though.
Arguably, from what I remember, yes. Yeah. Let's go to a man. Let's go to a man. So we have, again, apologies, Isaac Sabanovic with the song The Jetto. 6,000 views in the 7 hours since it's been out. So let's take a look and see how we think Isaac's going to do. Oh, also, did you want to give it a score? I'm giving it 3.
I'm gonna give it a 3.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And here's Isaac now that we've remembered to do that. The chaos is back.
Život je moj, ti si moje ljeto, ljeto, ljeto. Moje toplo more, biser Crne Gore. Vodi me duboko, oko, oko. Duboko do stijene, veži se za mene. Ti si moje ljeto, ljeto, ljeto. Moje toplo more, biser Crne Gore.
Okay, that was Yeto, Yeto, Yeto by Isaac Sabanovic. Again, apologies for that. Right, this is one of those weird ones because we were spending the whole 3 minutes there sort of bopping.
Yeah,
it's definitely got danceability to it. Do the little shoulder dance and stuff like that. Although part of it does feel like it's almost like 2 different songs. Like it's got its track, which is sort of, like this sort of Balkan rock crossed with synth, and then his vocal, which is a little bit even more rockier, and like they sort of almost feel two different things, and they just sort of clash together. And
it gave me a bit of Schlager vibes as well at some point.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. It just sort of, it feels like it shouldn't work.
Yeah.
Well, it kind of does.
Yeah.
I'm not sure on. I'm not saying the vocals are bad. That's not what I mean. But I feel like there's some. I feel like there's almost a disconnect between the tone of voice compared to the sound of the song and that sort of more synthy vibe. It sort of feels like the vocals are a little bit darker than the actual track sounds. God, I sound like I sound so wanky. Saying things. No, that's just how I feel. But overall, this is different. I said, I think they should send something different. This seems quite different. I like it. It's you can feel how Balkan it is as well. Like it's just like it feels so right in terms of like what you would sort of expect from this region, essentially.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know if it's something that I would expect from them, but it does have it does have a Balkan feel to it. That's definitely true, but I don't know. I think it's just, okay, here's the thing, right? I don't know, the Belgian people are going to know what I'm talking about. We have this TV channel here in Flanders. It's called Ment TV. And it's basically, they basically only ever play Dutch language music, or at least a lot of Schlager music. And it's usually these middle-aged men singing way too happy songs for their age. It's sort of it almost feels like they're doing it for kids, but it's grown up, and it's really weird. And I feel like, I don't know how to explain. I'll send you an example of one of them. Do you remember Sineke from the Netherlands years ago? You did not. You did. Oh.
Come on, me and memory. Come on, you know.
Watch the Netherlands song Shalali, I think it's called. Ik ben zo verliefd Shalali or whatever, and it's by Sineke. It's in the Netherlands. Just look it up. It was a Eurovision entry. That is exactly the type of music that they would play on that TV channel. And I was constantly thinking about that channel while I was listening to this entry, because it's just so wrong on so many levels, but in such a fun way that I was just smiling from start to finish. I was just enjoying myself. And I was thinking, if we would go to a pre-party and this plays, we would be having fun. We would be dancing. We would be acting stupid. We would be doing all our stupid dance moves, whatever we can think of. This would bring the house down. Is it going to win the national final? No. Even if it did, would it qualify? No. Would it ever be able to win Eurovision? No. But it's just a lot of fun. I don't know how to explain it. It's just, it's on a completely different spectrum than I think what all the other songs are going to be in this national final, or in any national final this year, I think.
Yeah, I just, there's something with this I can't quite put my finger on. Like, not in a bad way. I just, I can't tell why it works.
Yeah, exactly. But it does.
Yeah. Okay. That was quite surprising. I'm going to go controversially 3.75 out of 5.
Are we going to doing quarters now? I gave the other one 3.5. This is a tricky one because I feel like I'd listen to this one more often, but it feels sort of wrong almost to give it more points than Nina's song. I'm gonna go 3.5. Just
3.5. Fair
equal
enough.
To Nina, yeah.
I'm going on the vibes. I'm going on my vibes. I did really like that. Well, we do one more.
Yeah, let's do another one.
So we have Kit I'm probably saying that wrong. KEJT. The song is called Obada Raja. So let's take a look and see if we like this one anymore. Okay, now Thomas is telling me that this is actually pronounced Kate, which
I'm not saying it is. It's just how I would pronounce it.
But if that is how it's pronounced, that was Kate with Obada Raja. I was surprised actually. I really like the vocal. I have to say, I think her voice is really nice. It's a little bit higher than I would normally have expected. But it was really melodic. I really enjoyed it. Obviously, when it started, we're like, oh, okay, here we go, ballad central again. But it does have that drop. I just sort of felt like I wanted it to go a little bit further. Like, I just wanted a little bit more of that sort of drop and a little bit more of the speed and intensity from it. It just felt like it sort of only went halfway there. Sort of like, just give me a little bit more.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean. I will say this though, although I agree with that, I still think this is miles ahead of the rest so far. In my opinion, this is definitely the one to beat because it's the only one so far that feels really modern and, really current. And just like you said, it went into a completely different direction than I thought it would in the beginning, because it did start off really ballady, but then you could sort of hear the synth coming in and that little bit of drum and bass, that beat coming in. I really like the traditional influences in here. I really like I think there's strings.
Yeah.
That sort of like, in between the melody. I was really surprised by this. I was like, oh, this is actually really good. And I was already envisioning potential staging for this. Like you could really work with like LED floors and lights and, like bright blue lights or something to make this really impactful. Her vocal sounds really, really strong. But I do agree that it needs a little bit more. And I think that this is one of those songs that could do with a bit of a revamp, just to make it a little bit more layered, especially the chorus is where I need that extra, like it has to really hit you, which it doesn't quite do now, but that could easily be resolved. Just layer it a little bit more. But like the instrumental parts are really, really cool.
Yeah.
And I could see this with proper staging. I could potentially see this maybe qualifying for Montenegro. So I do. I really, really enjoyed this one. I was like, oh, this is actually very unexpected from Montenegro. Because where the other ones feel very, very Balkan, this one feels, I'm not going to say not Balkan at all, because it does have that traditional influence, but it feels so current, so fresh.
Sort of transcends the region a little bit.
Yeah. But like I said, maybe with a revamp, this could have potential, I think.
Yeah, I'm going to put this up there with Melina. I really like Melina. I'm going to put this up at a 4 again. I did really enjoy this. I think it's quite a strong entry. And as you say, I could see with a revamp something just being really quite cool about this.
Yeah.
I did actually see a funny tweet. I don't know if you've seen this, where someone commented on, I don't know if it was on this one or on one of the other songs, but someone went, oh, with a revamp this would be amazing, and the Montesong account replied, what do you mean by revamp? What do you mean? So I don't know if we're going to get any revamps. Based on that.
They might, if it's a comment that they keep getting, they might. I mean, it wouldn't be the first Balkan entry to get a revamp. It's happened before, so why not? I'm going to give this a 4 as well.
That's your highest score.
That's my highest score. It really does feel miles better than, and I'm not saying the other ones are bad at all, but it just feels, it's just so different from the others.
Interesting.
I like that.
Well,
very original.
I have just seen we have actually been asked on Twitter. Again, you can follow us. Just go to niallpointspod.com. We have had a request. So let's look at this one. It's been requested by Sheila. Said it doesn't sound very dated, nor does it feel like a typical Balkan ballad, and this is the one that they would vote for. So this is Baryak, and the song is called, oh god, this is all just consonants, fuck. The song is called Dva Srika.
I have no idea what to expect.
I don't know if you can, if that's came up on your screen yet. How would you pronounce?
Yeah, Dva, Cha, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
I don't know how they pronounce the C. Do they pronounce it as a K or as a ch sound? I don't know. No idea.
Maybe if we take a listen to this, we'll find out how it's pronounced. So this is Baryak. Okay, that was Baryak with, I think it's pronounced Devasircha. So that wasn't a typical Balkan ballad at all.
No.
Absolutely not. I will say, obviously, as a rock song, it was really great, and the chorus felt really powerful. I've got to really just talk about the bass line that was throughout the verses and stuff like that before it really kicked in. Oh my god, it was going through my brain. Like, it just felt really nice and powerful. I really liked it. They must have just turned it the hell up because it was literally vibrating around my ears. I really appreciated that, actually. Overall, I'm not sure what I think about this on first listen, because I think there's a lot to take in. There's a lot of different elements. I could see this being quite popular in Montenegro. I don't know if I could see it being quite popular outside Montenegro, potentially. I'm not sure. Overall, though, it was enjoyable. Like, I really liked it, and certainly a bit different.
Yeah, I'm also sort of. I know that I like it, but I don't know how to describe how I feel about it exactly. It's very unexpected. I did really like the chorus when it explodes. It really goes, like, it's one of those songs that goes right through you. Like the long notes, very powerful, strong vocal. I was constantly trying to figure out who was singing. Because obviously we're not getting a music video, we're just getting a still picture. I was constantly thinking, okay, which one of these is singing right now? Yeah, it's definitely unique. It's definitely memorable. I could see the public going for this, actually. Like you said, I could see this being really popular in Montenegro and maybe winning the public vote, which could be a huge thing for them, because if it's 50-50, then that's half the work done, really. I just don't know how to word it, like to describe what I'm thinking. But just like with the previous one, for me, a lot of the times to see potential, I have to sort of be able to envision a staging with a song. You know how sometimes when you hear entries or just national final entries where you're like, okay, but I don't know how they're going to stage it. This one really, like, my head was exploding with ideas like, oh, this could be really impressive visually, because, like it or not, the visual aspect of Eurovision is very important. As we have seen, you know, if we think about Bambi Thug's song last year, when the visuals, when it came together visually, how that sort of exploded in everybody's mind. And do you remember seeing that clip, that rehearsal clip, when we were all like, what the hell?
Yeah.
that's what I want with a Eurovision entry. Not that it always has to be explosive or anything. Sometimes it could be very demure, but I need to be able to have that vision or those ideas in my head where it's like, oh, they could be doing this, they could do that, they could have this for a backdrop, they could do this with the LED
the
floors.
whole package.
Yeah, and I get that with this one. I also got that with the previous song that we listened to. So in that sense, I'm sort of baffled how the first one is the one with the most views when we have this and the previous one. I'm kind of like, is that maybe because she's more famous? Maybe she's a bigger name in Montenegro, and that's why people are.
I couldn't tell you, but I do.
I know you like it, but yeah.
I like it. Yeah, I think this is a very interesting mix. So obviously there's 16 songs in total. We've only listened to 5. But there's quite a lot of variation in there, which is, I think, always a good start for a national final, to have stuff that doesn't all sound the same, because that is boring. You do want these things that sound a little bit different, sound a little bit out there. Like, I think Melfest do it quite well with having like a Schlager Queen, and then, you know, having like the likes of Medina or Regan Glor last year, even Nordman. Like, you just get these different little things. And they take you in different little areas, and I like this. I'm interested to see the rest of the songs, and also how this goes down on Montesong at the end of the month. Can you believe we're almost up to our first national final? Like, what the fuck?
Crazy. But I feel like it's also, is it quite late to have the first songs out? Not like official Eurovision entries, but like national final songs. I feel like last year we had more snippets, or more, or maybe that's just my brain being fuzzy at the moment.
It might just be fuzzy brain, because I think Vic is normally the first, and I think that's normally December. But we have seen a lot of movement coming from a lot of the national final camps. You know, we've seen rehearsals and auditions happening for Luxembourg. We've seen some lists for Una Vosa for San Marino, with Bessa is on that list as well, who of course represented Albania this year. Could we have the Albania to San Marino cycle continue for non-qualifiers? Who knows? Yeah, I think we're starting to see a lot of movement. Obviously, we've got names for Estee Lau. You've got Tommy Cash is taking part in that. So yeah, we've got
who that is.
Some big Estonian rapper, I think. I don't know. I think he's done a song with Kärja, actually, I think.
Oh, okay.
So I'm surprised you don't know who he is, because you're a big Kärja fan. You just spend your time looking at Kärja, really, don't you?
Yeah.
he's not even pretending. Anyway, this song, Barak, I'm going to give it a 3.5. I think it's good, but there's just, I don't know. It's just one of those, I'm just not quite sure where it is yet.
I'm going to give it a 3.75.
Okay, taking a leaf out of my book. Fun. Yeah, so that's us. The first part of the national final process is underway, and we will see what comes back. If there's any of the songs that you want us to listen to, always remember the comments are on YouTube. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, tell us what you want us to listen to, and you can also find everything you need at niallpointspod.com. So go there and just click buttons, find what you want, and I guess we will see you next time. Please come back next time.